Hello, folks. I'm Mal, and welcome to a new Master of Orion series with my buddy Sabouts. What's up, man?
Hey, Mal. How's it going?
It's going. So this one's called Impossible Bromance, and those of us that have, or those folks that have watched previous series will be familiar with Extreme Bromance, being that it's co-op and that it was on extreme difficulty. So those that are familiar with Master of Orion might be going, well, what's impossible? And we're going to answer that question for you right now, good viewer, which is that we are utilizing the 5X Ultimate Balance mod by Spud Dastardly, and it actually has this new difficulty level, Impossible, and myself and Sabouts have been playing around with it for a few hours, and I'd say so far it's pretty darn cool.
This mod adds a whole lot of changes to the game. Not only just changes, though, it actually adds a lot of fixes. There's various fixes in changing the AI, various altercations to the tech tree, the races, they get different starting traits. I mean, the list is actually insanely long. It's almost a completely new game. And the best part about the mod is that it changes a lot of the things that the developers, a lot of people felt the developers had left out, or things that the developers should have changed. This mod actually goes through and changes a lot of that. So I think it really adds a lot of flavor to the game.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And to your point, some of the changes that might seem subtle, like if you're just glancing at a list, once you get into the game, you can feel those changes. I mean, I've played a ton of Master of Orion, this new version, and I played all through the early access phases, and then after its retail launch, and it got better and better. And even in the last video that I did about the state of the game, I said I thought that it was worth people's time at this point and their money, and I thought that it was a good game. It still wasn't great, but it's good game, right? So far with this mod, I mean, I'm like you, I'm really excited about the things that we've seen, and we've played a few hours of it already before even recording, and it completely turns Master of Orion on its head, especially in terms of early game strats. Like, that was one of the complaints from the community. As you recall, you kind of had like a path that you followed. I'm going to get this tech, and then I'm going to build this thing, and then I'm going to get some destroyers, and then I'm going to do this. And that was what you did. And now, because of the changes to the tech tree and the fact that you have access to things that you didn't have before, like the fact that you can start building troop transports from day one, really changes the feel of the early game.
That's definitely one of the biggest changes. I mean, that alone just completely alters the very usual formula people would take when it came to technology and research. So just adding that alone was a really big way to turn the game upside down. So on top of that, the impossible difficulty, I mean, how much more harder can extreme get?
Yeah, exactly. You know, I've yet to win, even on extreme, I've yet to win in a co-op environment, and I don't know that we will be able to beat impossible. I have no idea. I mean, that's what's fun about this. And actually, you know, let's talk about why we chose these game settings a little bit, because I know we're going to get questions from our communities. We'll talk a little bit about the game settings and why we chose it. And it's primarily for testing. Like this first series we're doing, Sabouts and I, this is for science, essentially.
Yes.
So we'll do this. We'll explain why we're doing these settings, and then once we get into the game itself, which we'll do in just a couple minutes, we'll take you through some of the other changes, particularly with regards to the tech tree, because there's a lot of sort of neat changes that have been made. And then at the mid-game point, some techs that have been injected that didn't exist before, and then the in-game tech. There's a whole lot of stuff that didn't exist before that have been added via this mod. So let's talk about game settings for a second. We're going to do kind of the standard fare. We're going to go with circle because we want to have freedom of movement. We don't want any locked warp points. We're going with a small galaxy, and I'm sure this is the one that people are going to be like, well, why are you doing that? You should do medium or large. We're doing this and purposely going up against 2 AI opponents, which is all we can do. Now, let me be clear. The mod allows you to have a lot more AI opponents if you're playing single player, but the limitations of multiplayer, it doesn't let you do it. So the most that we can do on a small galaxy size is 2 AI opponents. And the reason we're doing this is because we want to be able to showcase the mod and explain changes that we have made to our playstyles because of the mod, and particularly in the early game. And then there's another update. We're recording this towards the beginning of February of 2017. There's another mod update coming out next week. And if you guys really engage and you like seeing this particular style of Master of Orion with the mod, then the plan is that we'll do another series and we'll ask you guys for feedback on that one when we're done with this one, in terms of who you want us to play and how big you want it to be and all that jazz. Right? That makes sense, doesn't it, Sabouts?
Yeah, I think that's a really good way to do it. We're just kind of, putting our toe in right now and seeing what it's all about, seeing what this impossible difficulty level is about, and then we'll just jump into a cannonball if it's something that seems fun and interesting.
So we're going to do average galaxy age. We're doing high density on star, which basically means we have the chance to get like 5 planets in one system that could be potentially colonizable. We're doing post-warp, which means we're going to start with just the basic stuff, colony ship, couple scouts, and a frigate. Impossible difficulty, the 2 AI opponents, because that's all we can do. And again, that's a limitation of multiplayer, not of the mod. Okay, I just want to be clear about that. Big Bang seed is going to be 8675309. We're going to use no turn timer. We've got random events. We're not using pirates, but we did test with the pirates. And what we found was that the early game was fine, but when we got into conflict with another empire, the pirates kind of just became an annoyance. Like, it was a boon to us because we were killing the pirate bases and getting population rewards and things like that. But as the game went on, the pirates just became an annoyance because we wanted to focus on fighting another empire, and we were having to send ships back to take out pirate bases and stuff. So we've decided we're not going to use it for this one, but we may use it in the future.
Yeah, pirates were definitely they were a fun early game thing, just kind of fighting them and beating them up a little bit. But yeah, once the pirates kept carrying on into the mid game and they just kept spawning and we didn't even know where they were coming from half the time, it got obnoxious very quickly.
It did, and even though we had like surveillance posts up, even though most of the planets we had at least a colony there, which does prevent them from spawning, they just kept showing up. And it wasn't that they could really hurt us, they were just annoying, like going and blockading a planet and we'd have to send a frigate back to go destroy them, So we're just going to avoid that for this one. We're going to leave monsters on. We're not using minor civilizations because, well, neither myself or Sabouts feel like it was ever implemented well, even the revamped version of it. We are allowing racial traits, balanced starting conditions. Timeline is disabled. This is the like auto rollback thing. Like if you made a mistake and you want to go back or whatever. Neither one of us ever plays with that. Research speed is going to be slow. Production speed is fast. Population growth is fast. We're doing 500 turns max. And then technological, economic, and Terran victory conditions are all enabled. Does that look right to you?
That looks right to me. We look set and ready, locked and loaded.
All right, folks. Well, we're going to jump in. Oh, ready up?
I'm ready. Maybe. There we go. There it
goes.
Got it.
Got it. All right. Here we go.
All right.
And he's obviously playing the robot, half robot guys, and I'm playing the bugs.
Yeah, I like the half robot guys. They're really cool.
They are cool.
Boom. Here we go. Nice. Already my start.
I'm encouraged by what's next to me. I've got a system with 5 worlds, one of which has a moon on it.
That's a good start. I've got 3 systems with 2 systems with 3 planets, 1 system with 1 planet and 2 moons, and an asteroid belt with an artifact. So I'm feeling really good.
Where are you at? I'm in the top left-hand corner.
I am in the top right-hand corner.
There we go.
We're perfect.
Perfect.
We're ready. So you've got that wormhole right next to you. Is that right a system over?
I do. Yeah, it's like right up from me. I'm not, honestly, while it's cool for exploration, I am not a huge fan of wormholes simply because you can't put defenses in them, right? So always feels like a, potential... It is. It's like a backdoor to your empire. Like somebody can always come smash your face through the wormhole.
Yeah, exactly. It's definitely not... it's not help. It's more harmful than it is helpful.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's see. I'm not going to worry about generating research out of the gate because my guys suck at research anyway. Now you'll see that we do have both civil transports and troop transports right off the bat, which is awesome. I'm going to go for an early colony ship. And then, something else too in the early game that's a big deal is that anomalies are really worth investigating. And for us, I think we went through did we go through 150 or 200 turns when we were practicing with this?
We did, yeah. And when we were getting those anomalies, holy crap. I mean, the stuff we were getting was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I remember we got I got a colony ship one time. You got 400 or 500 credits once. We got advanced techs. I mean, they're worth investigating, and they kept spawning even into the middle game.
Yeah.
Usually you get rid of your scouts because they're worthless, but with this mod, it's worth keeping scouts around for the purpose of continuing to look for those things.
Exactly. Yeah, we just kept getting ridiculous amounts of credits from them, and I'm hoping we will this time around too. That'll be a very great boost to our early economies.
Actually, I guess I've got to leave a couple of guys on research for now. I don't want to, but I have to because my guys are so bad at it. Okay. Speaking of research, before we cycle to the next turn, do we want to take a look at the research tree real quick and talk about that? Because that's obviously changed.
Yeah, we definitely should take a look at that.
Okay. Let's see. So the biggest things in terms of added text, what stood out the most?
Well, the beginning, I understand where the mod actually gets the 5X name from, because you've got your exploration, expansion, exploitation, extermination, but then he added expropriation at the bottom. See it?
Yeah.
And that's where you get your troop transport and you get your early bomb tech, because bombs were also not a tech that were originally you had right out the gate. So, which is good though that you have that, because you got to fight pirates with it if you got pirates turned on. So that was the first thing that stood out to me when I looked at the technology tree and I opened it up. I was like, there's 5 starting techs when there's usually 4.
Yep.
What about for you? What really stood out for you?
Well, obviously that was a change. The fact that we have troop transports just, gratis, that we have it automatically is pretty cool. And then also civil transports. But then at the mid-game point, if you grab the tech tree and scroll to the right, let's see, this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This would be 6 tiers in to the right.
Okay.
You have this advanced resource extraction, and there's a whole tier of new buildings that include wildlife reserves. It includes fungus harvester, seagrass harvester, tourism infrastructure, artifacts research, gem and gold harvester, and mineral harvester. Also, if you choose a high production race like I did, the Klakon, you actually get access to a special pollution building as well. And some of the races get buildings that others don't, which is pretty cool. And then at the end, you used to have planar transcendence, which would sort of end things, and then you'd have future tech. But now, if you look at the in-game tech, look at all that.
It's like its own game worth of tech.
Yeah. And some of them are really cool. I mean, instantly being able to transform a world into Gaia, or some of the other things that you get. There's new armor. There's class 12 shields.
Transdimensional drive.
Oh yeah, that's really cool. So there's a lot of neat changes that were made, not only to the early game, but throughout it. And we didn't even get a chance to get to that in-game stuff when we were testing.
Yeah, we didn't even get close.
All right, so I'm going to set 4 BC per pop for now. I've got a colony ship going. I'm ready to go to the next turn.
All right. Exploration begins.
I hope this system right next to me doesn't suck. If it's good, I'm going to feel really good about this. If it sucks, I'm going to feel really sad.
I'm also really hoping so. You are not alone. I'm got my fingers crossed right now. I'm so banking on a good system. It is imperative.
Please don't suck. Be good.
Here we go.
What do we got? I got it's tiny. It's tiny. But it's Terran, and it's rich, and it has artifacts. Now, that's pretty solid.
Nice.
Yep. The other two kind of suck, but that's okay.
I'm looking all right. I've got a Baron, but it's medium abundant dark quartz. I've got
That's pretty solid.
an arid that's abundant, but it's a medium planet. I've got one more here I haven't even looked at yet, so I gotta scout out that one. But so far not bad. I'm kind of liking the layout of the.
I've got a large arid abundant in the other system. That's not bad.
Good. Is that the system with the artifact and the asteroids?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay.
Nope.
I see.
This one's just an arid world with a moon.
What's
but still, that's pretty. That's
what's
solid.
the name of your system?
Koldan 2.
Oh, okay.
Koldan
Okay.
is the system.
Your starting system's Koldan?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a radiated planet. It's alright. Still a planet I could probably make work.
Yeah. With tech and stuff.
Yeah.
Ugh. Abundant, toxic, but it does have red fungus, so extra food.
Probably gonna go ahead.
That's something else. That's something else that's super cool. So what we found was that there's a lot of different planet specials too now. Like you could, like, for instance, instead of red fungus, which that's a standard one, but you can get like special heavy metals that give you extra minerals. You can get like something to do with like the ecology of the planet that gives you extra growth. I thought that was a really cool thing that they added.
Yeah, I'm surprised that it had to take a mod to add that, and you would have thought that special planet perks would have been just something
That there would have been a bunch by default.
Yeah, or maybe
there's like 4 of them by default.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe more than 4. 4 is kind of a pretty boring number. Even just like 8 of them would have been a little bit more appropriate. I mean, well, I could think off the top of my head like 8 more interesting things.
Well, again, this is why I think this mod is so promising. And like I said, Sabouts and I played several hours of this before we even started recording, and we wanted to know, at least to some degree, what we were talking about before we jumped into it. And I can't think of another game that you and I have been this excited about recording in a while.
I know, yeah,
exactly. With this mod active.
I've got a Trilarian ship nearby me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't.
So that's one of the 2 then.
Funny enough, I haven't even actually technically discovered them, but somehow I can see their ship nearby me. So they just,
it's within scan range, which means you happen to see them and they didn't see you, so you haven't made contact.
Ah, okay.
That's how that works. You should hear shortly, but that confirms that one of the 2 enemies that we're up against is them, the fish guys.
Fish guys, disgusting fish
guys, or squid guys. I guess they're squid guys. Yeah, underwater guys.
So are they pretty powerful? I'm not too familiar with them.
Not well, actually. The short answer is I don't know in the mod, because we didn't run across them, and some of the races are very different in the mod. Like as an example. I think most Master of Orion players would tell you that the Martian pretty disappointing in the remake, right?
Okay.
Because it was this cool warrior race and Mutu and Mu in the first and the second game, and then in this one they were like just not. But in this mod, they have like plus 60 accuracy on energy weapons right out of the gate, and it totally changes the level of threat that they, how scary they are if they're your enemy now versus they were in vanilla.
Yeah, now they're a pretty big threat.
Okay, is that you? Nope, I ran into the Trilarians. Oh, hi guys.
Okay.
I say we try to make nicey if we can with these guys. Once we get Xeno Diplomacy, I say we try to make nicey and then
gang up
kill
on
them later.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Or make nicey with one of the 2, whoever we get the best results with, and then just gang up and beat up the other guy.
I'm good with that. That sounds nice.
I like your voice.
Did you already do
that sounds good.
This sounds wonderful. Have you already colonized your other planet?
Yeah, one of them.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and colonize this arid one because I don't want to wait any longer. I was gonna wait to see if there's a better planet, but I got a colony ship coming, so I won't worry about it.
My general rule of thumb is that if I find normal gravity with at least poor minerals and a biome that's 3 dots or higher, so like arid or higher,
yep,
I automatically just take it.
Makes sense.
Even if it's not ideal. Like this tiny world, it's not ideal, but it's rich and it's Terran. It'll grow fast, so I'm just going with it, you know?
Yep, I've got an ultra poor planet nearby, but it does have gems.
Now see, here's an example of something you wouldn't even be able to do in the early game. I'm about to build a civil transport to move one population from my home world over to that new world that I colonized, right?
Yep.
That's not something that you would even be able to do, but this changes my in-game, my beginning, early game strategy. Because I'm building a colony ship, the next thing I would generally build at that point is another combat vessel. And I'm not. I'm building another, support ship, essentially.
Yeah. Which is good. Because that's going to be a lot more useful than a combat vessel right now.
Yeah. Now, Sabouts and I already worked out that since my race is uncreative, and if you're not familiar with that, I'm looking at the research screen right now. On any of these levels where you have something in parentheses, it means that you get to make a choice. So, like, let's take advanced magnetism as an example. You get the neutron blaster modifications automatically, and then you make a choice between class 1 shields and ECM jammer. Because my race is uncreative, it just randomly assigns me one of these. So what we will try to do is sync up. I will go through these tiered researches first, whatever I randomly get. Then when Sabouts passes through, he'll grab the other one. We'll do an exchange of tech so that we end up getting everything. And that's the advantage of playing co-op and being scumbaggy.
Then we are super scumbaggy.
Well, I'll use any advantage I can get. When you're playing on Impossible, you use whatever you could possibly
Exactly.
get,
You got to
right?
take advantage of everything. I've said that before. I've played games before where I've gone ahead and taken advantage of certain exploits because sometimes that's what you need to beat. When you're playing on this high of a difficulty setting, most of the time you have to take advantage of exploits to win. It's like on Europa Universalis 4 getting the 3 Mountains achievement. Most of the time, the only people who have that achievement are people who took advantage of exploits in the game, and that's kind of why the achievement exists.
And this isn't really, it's scumbaggy, but it's not an exploit. It's just we happen to be playing together, and
we happen to be allies.
Yeah, and I'm cycling through that research before you, so it would be stupid for me not to. Let's see.
Excuse me.
Bless you. Are you okay? Are you getting the sniffles?
I encountered these underwater squid people, and I'm allergic to underwater squid, so
I understand. You're just in general, I've noticed, depending on what you're playing, everything else is horrible. Like, you really adapt that Xenos can die mentality.
I mean,
that's because you play so much 40k in your life. That's
filthy,
why, right?
Filthy Xenos, I can't.
Filthy Xenos. Oh, look at that.
Oh,
it's the Sabouts.
Tyranids.
What's up, buddy?
Love the Clacons. They're actually really cool looking.
They are cool looking. So I think I'm getting government right now, government tech. I'm going to then just jump right into Xeno relations. Normally I would grab like physics, but I think... what are you doing right now? Are you doing Xeno relations right now?
I'm doing biology, actually.
You're doing biology?
Yeah, I really like to go for that early farm.
The hydroponic?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Then I'll finish government. The other reason I went for government is because my guys are so bad at research, right? I wanted the labs. So after I'm done with research labs, I'll jump to either biology or physics, one of those two. So you let me know when you jump... when you're done with government, so I can switch back to doing Xeno relations, because we want to get that early so that we get the ability to do agreements.
Okay.
Oh, there's an anomaly. I'm on that. Come here. Give me that stuff.
I just found a really good planet.
Did you? What'd you get?
It's a huge ocean planet with abundant minerals and gold.
Regular gravity?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Actually, it's high gravity. I just noticed that.
Well, because it's huge, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they usually are. But still, it's probably worth it, buddy.
It's still a pretty good planet.
Yeah.
It's a lot better than this ultra-poor swamp planet, so...
You don't want the ultra-poor planet? Why not? You want to be able to build something before the Let's Play's over?
Maybe. Oh, there's a swamp planet up in here, but this is up in kind of your area.
medium swamp, abundant, Rahab or whatever. Rahab.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, because I'm trying to look on where I'm going to send my next colony ship once it's built.
What did I get? I got a free frigate. Heck? I'll take that. That's not bad. Take a free frigate. I don't have from an anomaly.
That's always a really good find. Although the free colony ship is
the free colony ship is badass. Gold. I'm hoping one of us gets that. But we're gonna try to keep these episodes all about the same length of time. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap this one up here, folks. We hope that you have enjoyed exploring the 5X Ultimate Balance mod with us so far, and that you continue to join us for future episodes in this series. We welcome your comments and feedback. Let us know what you think. We would really appreciate that. We're going to be releasing these every day at, what did we say, noon Eastern is when this one's going out?
Noon Eastern.
Okay, so noon Eastern every day. You can expect to see more Impossible Bromance. Until next time, he is Sabouts, I am Mal, and we will see you later.